Hello, guys. Happy Friday. What we are going to be doing today is we are going to be just looking at what we will be learning in Unit 2, Week 4. So we're on to a new unit, but we are still doing expository text. So that is really why I wanted to review it yesterday, so that way we have a little bit of review, and we also know what we're going into this week. Our essential question is, how can people help animals survive? So this whole week is going to be strictly on animals and helping them survive. So you know what extinct animals are, right? Extinct animals are animals where the numbers of their species has gone down. There's not many that are still alive. And we are going to be learning throughout the week how to protect these animals to save them from extinction. So these are going to be really cool informational text that we'll be reading. So here we have saving animals, and these are walruses. Those are very unique animals. Oh, I'm sorry. They're manatees. They kind of look like walruses. My bad. So these manatees, they look happy and healthy, but sometimes they need help. We can help threatened animals like manatees survive. So the way we can help them survive is we can protect their habitat. Their habitat is where they live. So their habitat is the ocean. And we can do that by keeping their habitats clean, making sure we're not littering, especially in the ocean. We're picking up our trash. And we can join special groups that help animals. So maybe donating some money to a foundation that goes and cleans the ocean and helps these animals stay living.
Survival. How can people help animals survive? Manatees are endangered animals. Scientists spend time studying them to learn what they need to survive. Whooping cranes are also endangered. Scientists figured out how to help them. First, they taught young whooping cranes to trust them. Scientists did this by wearing special clothes and gloves with bird puppets on the end. The young cranes thought the scientists were real birds. Because whooping cranes migrate or move from one place to another every year, scientists needed to teach the young birds where to fly. Special airplanes were used. The whooping cranes watched the plane take off and then followed behind. They flew behind the plane and landed when the plane landed. With the scientists' help, more and more new cranes are born each year. And thanks to these scientists, the whooping cranes may be around for a long time.
Our big story is actually going to be about the whooping cranes, so we will learn more about that process later on in the week, or I should say next week. So let's read a story about, this is going to be about a bald eagle, I believe. Here. Where do we have the character traits for next week? For their centers? Hang on, let me pause this. Hey, so this is going to be a story about a bald eagle and their success story on helping this eagle survive. So listen very carefully, and we are going to talk about the main idea.
The bald eagle, a success story. An important image of the United States of America is the bald eagle. This bird, with its white head, yellow beak, and large wingspan, became our national symbol in 1782. It can be found in every state except Hawaii. The population declines. But in the late 1800s, through 1970, the number of bald eagles began to go down. What caused so many bald eagles to disappear? Some people hunted the eagles, even though it was not legal to do so. In some places, the birds' homes were being destroyed by polluted air and water. New roads and towns were built where eagles once had nests. By the late 1970s, fewer than 500 pairs were left. At this rate, the bald eagle would soon be extinct. Let's save our national symbol. In 1978, the bald eagle was placed on the endangered species list. But would it be too late? A plan was put in place to find ways to save the bald eagle. A key part of the plan was to ban DDT. This poison had been used to keep pests away from crops, but it had also harmed the bald eagles. Once it was banned, the number of bald eagles began to rise. In fewer than 10, the number had grown. Soon, it was more than 10 times what it had been at its low point. The eagle's nesting range grew as well. By 2007, the plan to save the bald eagle was called a success. The proud bird came off the endangered species list. Today, the bald eagle has soared back as a strong symbol of our nation.
Okay. So in the beginning, they were telling us that the bald eagle was a strong, living animal in the United States, and it's actually our national symbol, and it became it in 1782. Then the numbers of the bald eagle started to decline when we started building roads, when pollution started becoming a thing, and when we tearing down trees in their habitat. They had nowhere to go. They were either killed or they had to move somewhere else. And so they took action by making a plan to save the bald eagle. They banned a poison called DDT, and the poison had been used to keep the pests away from crops, but it also harmed the bald eagles. So once they made that poison illegal and they weren't able to use it anymore, eagles started coming back and nesting and stopped dying off. So that is an example of how we protect our habitat to protect the animals that live there. Okay, so now we are going to go over just briefly of the vocab words, and then we'll get going on to our interactive notebook. Okay. So our first one is caretakers. So the caretakers at the zoo fed the penguins every day. So caretakers is a compound word, care and takers. So using that compound word, we can actually teach ourselves what caretaker means. And a caretaker is someone who cares for a person or animal to keep them safe. So it looks like the caretaker, this lady, is feeding the penguins. She's taking care of them. Population. There is a large population of flamingos living in the pond. So population is the number of all the animals living in the same place. So if you take the population of Malone, you are counting all the people that live in Malone. Recognized. Nola recognized herself in the mirror. So when you recognize someone, you remember that person from the past. You remembered that something, that person, and you've seen them before, so you recognize them. You know who they are. Relatives. We invited friends and relatives to our picnic. So relatives are someone who is in your family, either brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin. Those are all relatives. Resources. Plants need resources such as sunlight, fresh air to grow. So resources are the things that are available to be used when needed. So sunlight is a natural resource. We need sun. In this picture, the flowers need sun, so they are using it. Water is a resource because we need water in order to stay alive, to keep hydrated. Same thing with food. Success. Jill's performance was a success. So a success is when something ends well. So if you plan on doing something and in the end result, you did it well, you're happy with how it ended, that is called a success. Survive. Animals need water to survive, and to survive means to keep living. So they stay alive. And threatened, the wildfire threatened the trees. Threatened means it's in danger of being hurt. So when you are getting threatened, it means you're in danger of someone hurting you. In this case, the trees are threatened because there is a fire coming their way that could kill them. Now what you're going to do is you are going to get out your blue interactive notebook vocabulary sheet. Let me get it up here. Okay. You are going to need 2 of them. When I packed these for you, I did put Unit 2, Week 4. I forgot that you needed 2 of these per week. So you have to grab another one. So that way you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes all together. Okay, so that was my bad. So I know that I will need to send you more. That is perfectly fine. So just make sure you have 2. In your interactive notebook, you want 2 clean pieces of paper. Okay. What you're going to do, which I already did, you're going to need scissors and you're going to cut the dotted line. I did not cut this dotted line because I wanted these words to show. I did kind of trim the outsides a little bit more so that way it could fit better on the page. So like I said, there's going to be one on this side and one on this side. Make sure you glue it down. And Monday, what we'll be doing the first 2. We are going to be doing these instead of our index cards. So like the front, you'll have the vocabulary word in the picture. And then here is our back, which is the definition. So these are replacing our index cards, so you won't need them anymore. But that means if you do not have a notebook, you need to get a notebook. Okay, and then that's all we are doing today. Have a good weekend.